My name is John Howland, and I arranged the music for the film, and I played the role of Glaucus the Martian. So I got into music late, I would say, maybe around 18. I started sort of dabbling with guitar a little bit, and I had some friends that would show me a few chords, and I'd sort of figure it out. And then I went to Emerson College in Boston. But while I was there, I seemed to be averse to going to actual classes, and I spent more time just playing guitar, and I had a guitar teacher there that said, why don't you apply to Berklee? So I switched over to Berklee College of Music, and then right after Berklee College of Music, I moved out to Berkeley, California, and I've been teaching and playing here ever since, and I met John Peters, who is the director, and he plays guitar and happens to be one of my students, and as they say, it's who you know, not what you know, I guess. Hopefully I know some things too, he's been doing this and Anti-Claus, and I've done some music for both of those things, so that's been a nice... Putting together the music for a film is a little bit different because I'm used to playing, say, in a band or in a situation where it's collaborative and everyone plays their roles, and then you perform the music or record it and everyone sort of contributes. In this case, Nancy gave us what I think amounts to iPhone demos with a guitar teacher of the rough outlines of some of these songs, and some of them were in different time signatures and played very slowly, and some of the scenes just needed to be more fun or happen more quickly, deliver the message in a shorter span of time, so we changed some of them to quicker tempos and to make them more festive and stuff.
My hero, my superhero doesn't wear a black cape.
Sort of change and edit and pare down and do different things with to make it work for the film. And then in the studio, we're multi-tracking it all from the ground up. Maybe we'll have drums and bass, but then we'll add a lot of overdubs and little very organic acoustic-y instruments. But essentially, bass and drums got played by my friends Mikey and Andrew, and then I played most everything else, and like a little ukulele, a little guitar, add all these things and flavors, and then check in with John Peters, the director, and see how he was liking it, maybe, edit some things. And so it was a little bit like a puppet show with one puppet master and a whole, playing all the various little puppets. It's kind of fun, though. So the music got done substantially at a studio at my house and then at 9th Street Opus, and all the music happens first because by the time the vocalists come in, they need to be able to sing over what's going to be there. And so got all the music done, and then coordinated schedules to try to get everyone to come in on the same day and cut their tracks. And so the Mermaids actually came all together, and they didn't sing together. We kind of attempted that, but getting the blend around one mic was just a little difficult. So what we did is I multi-tracked in falsetto. I'm sure they love that. I multi-tracked a rough outline of what the harmonies could be and sent it to them in advance, and then they learned their bits, and we ended up having each in the room in the booth for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and it all sounded pretty good.
We are the lovely mermaids on Mars. We control water and even the stars. You're different than us, but we don't care.
I helped cast those roles on accidentally, essentially, because what happened is as we were doing the music, we'd find people that were great for singing it, and then we said, hey, well, would it make sense to have them take a crack at being the voice as well of the character? So there was some continuity, and it was really interesting because Mario is, I'm living down closer to Sacramento right now, and I was at a farmer's market a few times, and I see this little guy. He's almost like a little Michael Jackson. He's got a great voice, and he's hamming it up between songs and cracking jokes, and he dances, and he's a lot of fun. And I just thought that guy would probably be great because it's really hard to find a little guy that age that can sing and do everything he's got to do. So I suggested to John Peters, the director, that Mario could be a great voice for the song and for the character, and it turned out great. I'm glad that worked out. It was kind of interesting to find the little guy at a farmer's market. After the initial score, we added some musical hits, and to sort of fill out some of the quiet spots and create some more emotional texture. And I'd say the biggest thing on that was interesting to me is flying the video into Pro Tools, and then sometimes it would work to create a piece and just set it, move it wherever you needed to. But oftentimes I found myself just sort of improvising something to, say having a ukulele in my hand and just let the video fly and play something and get it pretty close to what I want. And then I might adjust tempo and just so it would start and end about where I'd want to, and starting and ending with maybe cues that would work, with an eyebrow that raises, so it looks like it should start right where an eyebrow happens and then finish right where a foot stomp happens or something. And so that was kind of fun to try to improvise.
Julian, what's happened? The water is disappearing.
So there were special design considerations for the portal because for the most part, we kept all the instrumentation really organic throughout the film, acoustic guitar, ukulele, things like that. And on the portal scene, we wanted something that felt a little maybe more three-dimensional and magical. So Olga Capestina, who works at 9th Street Opus Studios, she created a sounds using synthesizers that sort of sounded like there were some sprinkles of bells and things as the portal's opening, and then this synthesized sound that sounds like you're kind of being sucked down into the portal.
Whoa!
Coming up with the voice for Glaucus, the Martian character, I was horsing around with the script. I wasn't really sure that I was going to be the one that played the part, but I knew that there was a good chance that I would sing the part first. And in picking keys and everything, it just seemed funnier for him to have a little bit of a high-pitched voice.
I know what you want, Gilbert, and the answer is still no.
Seeing the drawings of Glaucus, I don't think really affected how I thought of singing or speaking the character, but I thought it was pretty amusing after the fact to see him like doing the little stuff where he holds his butt and shakes it around and, all those little things, or at the point where he's like walking around Julian and like pointing his little finger like that. I crack up every time I see it. My daughter is 4.5 years old, and so she's been seeing bits of this film since she was 4, and she loves it. She loves the songs too. She sings along to the songs like Together and things like that, and Together's her favorite. And she fancies herself being a mermaid now, so I would sing the song with my daughter, and when she thought it was funny,
Everyone thinks we're green, but we're blue.
Then it was funny to me. I mean, I was like, that's a good, litmus test. So, and then when it seemed like I would read for the part, I did the same thing. I would just do lines in front of her, and when she didn't ask me to stop, I know, when she's like, Dada, stop that, then I know it's time to move on and try a different track. But so I started doing it where she would actually repeat the things I was doing and thinking it was funny, and that's when I was like, okay, well that'll work on some level.